Let's get ready to grumble!
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the Royal Grumble. I am your host, Graeme, and sitting in the corner to my left, looking down, thinking, oh, look at me, I've got a little t-shirt, look how cool I am, I was at the London tapings, look at me, it's Daryl.
I'm at NXT UK Ultra, mate.
Ah, yeah.
I've been to every NXT UK taping.
You actually have, haven't you? Oh no,
There's only been one.
You oh, yeah, of course, yeah. It was me trying to mug you off by going saying you didn't go to Norwich, but pedestrianisation of the city centre was enough to put you off, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Sitting in the corner to my right, turning me down because I'm apparently far too loud, it's Dan.
Hi.
Hello. What's wrong with my voice, Dan?
Very loud.
What's wrong with... Sorry, everybody. I am a little sorry. I'm not that sorry.
That was very clever of you.
I am a bit sorry.
There we go. That's fixed.
Right.
It's because there's been other recording going on in here, so I've had to mess around with things.
Oh, my side project. Yeah. Well, this is your main project, so all 40 listeners are very interested in listening to this. Hi, guys. We love you.
Did we gain some listeners, mate?
Yeah, no, I just got my mum to download it 39 times. Right. Start off on a sad note. Let's do it. Why not? Hashtag RIP like a thumb.
No, right.
Are we not? What?
Is this how we're doing it?
No, because
I didn't like that from him.
No, I did the tweet from the Twitter, which was nice.
Yeah.
Didn't mention his chode.
Chode?
Like, and here we go.
Which you owe the swear box for last week, Dan.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, chode's not swearing, by the way. Let's classify that.
Okay.
Yeah, but I would be nice about it.
Look, I had many worse ones, so just be glad that that's what I said. We haven't even mentioned the name of the person who has died.
Who was it, mate?
Well, it was Vader, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Big Van Vader. What? Why is that funny? Just his name.
Just that pause, mate. I don't know.
It's his name. It's not funny. He's dead. It's sad.
It is, because...
You really met him once?
Once, yeah, nearly.
He fell over in the bath?
Yeah.
I hope that's not how he died, is it?
No, he didn't.
Okay, good.
No.
He was asleep, right?
He had pneumonia.
Okay,
and
that is
his
bad.
Heart gave up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew it was something to do with his heart. Wasn't he, like... Was it... I don't know how appropriate this is, but I was just going to say it anyway. Didn't he say recently that he was going to die anyway?
He had congenital heart failure.
Right, so that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, that doesn't trivialise his death at all, but I seem to remember reading somewhere that he had a certain amount of time left.
Yeah, so he has been the target of a lot of ridicule on this show since the very beginning. I think episode 3 or 4 is titled Hashtag Like a Thumb.
Yep.
But behind it all, we are actually all big fans of his, and it's quite sad that he's passed away now, and we can all look back on some of his really great moments. And I'll start it off where you'd have thought that I'd have instantly gone for his IWGP title reigns and the fact that he was this huge monster in Japan. But actually, the thing I remember most about him is when he first came to WWE and he attacked Gorilla Monsoon. That was absolutely brilliant.
Vader was on the first wrestling tape I ever owned.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was WCW Best Match of the 90s.
Who was he wrestling?
Ric Flair at Starrcade.
Okay.
I think they re-recorded the commentary for it as well, because it was really weird and sort of strange sounding.
Yeah?
I'll need to go back and watch Starrcade 93 now to see if the version that I had on WCW Greatest Match of the 90s was different or the same to the actual commentary off of Starrcade 93. But yeah, it was that match with Ric Flair and that. He went for a moonsault and all that. I couldn't believe it.
Did he hit it?
No, he didn't. That was the key.
I seen a compilation this week of all the times he did hit the moonsault.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. That were pleasing.
Yeah?
I also seen a gif of him wrestling Ken Shamrock. And Vader's in the corner and Shamrock like hits him and clearly like puts it in a bit.
Yeah.
And then like he goes to put it in again and Vader kind of blocks it and like pushes him away.
He sort of shoves him off, doesn't he?
Yeah, and then Shamrock comes back in. It's a bit like
Vader's going,
time.
just ease up a little bit, mate. Yeah. All right.
And then when Shamrock comes in for the third time, Vader's like, just stop it! And then like hits him really hard and he knocks him to the floor.
It's like half punch, half clothesline that he hits him round the side of the head with and knocks him down.
Yeah.
And Ken Shamrock even admitted after that, saying, yeah, I loosened up my strikes after that a bit.
Let's just remember that Vader took part of Mick Foley's ear as well, so that's something to celebrate.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vader.
He took his own hits as well, because there's a really famous match with Stan Hansen where Stan Hansen popped his eye out and he pushed it back in and finished the match.
Yep, that's fun.
Yeah.
Popped his own eye back in. Not many wrestlers can say that.
Do you remember when in WWE had a mask versus mask match with Kane, and it was so disappointing when he had to unmask because you can basically see his face anyway.
And he always used to take his mask off anyway.
Yeah,
he always used to take it off anyway. It was never a big deal, his mask.
That'd be such a Brit wrestling, wouldn't it? Mask versus mask, but the guy's already unmasked.
Yeah.
Didn't the dirt bike kid do that once and got beaten up by someone in Japan for doing it?
But the other thing I wanted to bring up as well was his entire feud with Mick Foley as Cactus Jack. They had some ridiculous matches in WCW in a time when no one was watching WCW, but I always go back and watch that era quite a lot because it had a lot of really good stuff there.
Foley talks about it in one of his books as being the reason that he left WCW, not because of the feud, but because the feud was so good and no one cared about it.
Yeah.
He talks about being powerbombed on the concrete, and Tony Schiavone went, "Oh, that'll give you Excedrin headache number 9." Apparently in his head, he was building it up with Jim Ross going, "Bog off, Vader, powerbomb on the concrete," like a big deal. And instead, they went, "Oh, that must hurt." That's why he decided to leave WCW.
Because of Tony Schiavone.
Yeah, that, and I don't think they really cared much about Mick Foley that time.
It's kind of crazy that Vader won world championships in every single company he went to apart from WWE. And they seem to have designs on him having the title at one point. I think we have discussed this in the past.
Yeah, then Shawn Michaels got involved, didn't he?
Yeah, Shawn Michaels.
Never going to happen, was it?
Move. Yeah, Shawn Michaels weren't too keen on the idea of dropping the title to him and said did it to Sid. But yeah, he's an absolute legend, and we have made a lot of fun of him, including at the beginning of this show, Graeme.
I didn't make fun of him. I just said,
I said
rest in,
Daryl.
I said rest in peace like a thumb.
But let's not forget, you can't slander the dead.
Yeah. Oh God, no. He's
you can't, can you?
No, but he's opening himself up for the rest of the week.
Well, yeah, Graeme does have control of the thing, so I can't reach it. The soundboard
I'm not gonna hit that now.
Yeah.
Just for all the listeners that are wondering, no one's won the death pool yet.
No.
I've gone back and listened to who we all picked, and none of them are dead yet.
Thanks to last year, I have people remind me who I picked in the death pool whenever anything happens with them.
You notice he says thanks to last year.
You won the quiz!
Yeah, exactly. You won, mate. You won. You killed Bobby Heenan. And that's okay, because you won because of it, which makes it all right.
I really wish you'd stop saying that.
I wish you'd stop picking people you like. He never learns, does he? It's like, people keep reminding me who I've picked. You picked him. Did you pick him?
No.
I didn't pick him.
I have forgot who you two picked.
I forgot who I picked, to be completely honest. But I know who you picked.
Yeah.
I'm not going to remind you who you picked, because if they die in this week, then I'll have it ready to play on my phone, and I'll just play it into my microphone.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But if I get 2 years in a row, does that mean I've got some type of prediction ability and you should be scared?
See,
as long as you don't pick me, then yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Either that or you are a murderer. Whichever one you want.
Yeah, he's that desperate to win.
Yeah. Soon I'll be king. King. Ha ha. So we lost a good big man this week, but good news, we lost a bad big man as well.
He's not dead.
No, but
no.
I mean, well,
he's dead to me.
Dead in the water.
It's just his career that's dead.
Yeah. Big Cass.
Oh, that's a shame, isn't it?
I like that they kept him on just to make him job once more and then sacked him. Didn't even get future endeavoured, lads. Didn't even get future well-wishings on his future endeavours. But don't worry, he can go into the Indies and make lots of money with Enzo Amore, except they hate each other now. So that went well.
That's probably the one redeeming thing about Big Cass, that he fell out with Enzo.
Yeah, but I mean, if he fell out,
people are more likely to book Enzo than Big Cass.
Plus, also, we don't know why he fell out with him. He might have fallen out with him because I wanted to get famous for doing bad things. I mean, I'm just speculating. He is not dead. So
did you see the Simon Gotch interview about Enzo?
Simon Gotch is not keen on Enzo.
No, I mean, he brings up Enzo every other week, but his whole thing about the rap song was actually really good, about him saying he's either a person who did a rap song about someone who's mentally ill, in that case he's a bad person, or he's done a rap song making fun of a girl that he raped, which means he's a monster. So either way, he's not a good person.
Enzo, there you go. Bad person or monster.
Didn't Simon Gotch try and start a fight with somebody once?
Yeah.
Backstage, or it's Sin Cara.
Probably. Probably over how good his handlebar tash is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
no wonder Simon Gotch always talks about Enzo. That's the only way you can remain relevant. Because wasn't he the one that injured Enzo? Pretty confident it was him, not Aiden English. Yeah, I think it was him.
But there was a few reasons why Cass got fired, apparently. And my favourite of all these is that on the tour bus in Europe, he got locked in the bathroom and thought it was a rib. So he beat the door down. So everyone was kind of annoyed that they had to go to the toilet with no door on it.
Yeah, it turned out it was just stuck.
Yeah, it was just a bad door.
Just Big Cass couldn't figure out how to open it.
In one of the other reasons, because he wanted to beat up the midget more.
Yes.
Yeah. And he also, when he did that really long rambling promo, he was asked to rehearse that promo with Kevin Dunn beforehand and didn't show up.
Oh, great.
So yeah, and he was just being a drunk idiot on the European tour as well, apparently.
Can't
so
really
it was a
say
multitude of
anyone's
things.
going to miss him then, are they?
Yeah. And just remember, Daniel Bryan had to physically grab his arm to make out like he was blocking Daniel Bryan from putting a submission on in one of their matches. So it's not like he was that great in the ring because he couldn't figure out how to block something.
So it's farewell to Big Ass. That's the sad thing, isn't it?
Or by Cass.
Yeah, by Cass. I mean, each to their own. That's not a slant, but he has a big ass, so that's appropriate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bye, Big Ass. So I think this is probably a good time to give a spoiler warning, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go on, but first Dan's going to read his message to us because that's the rule.
Have you got a message?
I think so.
The only message I've got is
Might be me then, let's find out.
http://www.daysOutGuide.co.uk/2for1 London. Thanks, Daryl.
You do not have enough space in iCloud to back up this iPhone.
Oh.
There you go.
Don't you
That's
feel
interesting.
You got any messages you want to read?
No, it's just...
Clefairy?
No.
The Whale Lord? Whalmer.
NXT UK/WWE UK.
Oh, here he goes. Right. Okay. Yeah. So spoiler warning if you haven't heard it already. If WWE haven't spoiled it all for you already. Some of these WWE will have spoiled. I imagine you're also going to talk about some stuff that they haven't spoiled. But ideally, if you listen to this on the day it comes out, you'll be able to enjoy these tomorrow and the day after. If you listen to it after Wednesday, they're on the network anyway. So it's your fault in a way. Go on.
Yeah. So everybody hates Liverpool's number one, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They really do. See,
mate. Like,
did you start the chant? Did you start it originally, or like what? I'm just saying. No, apparently it was Dahlia Black who started the chant. Yeah. I'm assuming someone will be claiming royalties for that.
Yeah. So just lovely chants at Zach Gibson.
Excellent. Let's go.
Like, where's my car stereo?
Always a classic.
Yeah. Stand up if you hate Gibson.
Obviously.
Sit down if you hate Gibson. Shoes off if you hate Gibson. Shoes on if you hate Gibson.
Oh, tremendous.
Yeah.
Very good.
Massive heel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that a pun on heel of a shoe?
No, but it can be.
There you go.
If it makes me funnier, we'll have it.
Why shoes off? Because he's a massive heel. Oh, bad.
No promo from him until the end of the second night, to the point where I don't even know if they'll show it on TV, because it was that late on after he won the match. I don't know if they told him to just get on the mic and they're not going to show it, or they'll edit a bit out so it's quite soon after the match. But yeah, they didn't, like I said, they didn't even need a promo, which I think they'll regret, because I think that because he goes for the Shankly Gates quite a lot.
Yeah.
And obviously we know, because we're like proper ultras, we know what Shankly Gates is.
Obviously, the commentary helps with that as well. Like the commentary.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you'll have Nigel McGuinness going in his weird Australian accent. This is the Shankly Gates. He's going to do it. This is where he won the titles in other promotions. I'm really from England. It's me, Nigel McGuinness.
Talking of the commentators.
Yep.
So I was sat directly above the commentary team.
Yeah.
And Mauro Ranallo is probably the biggest mark for himself that I've ever met in my life. Not even met him, but I've ever seen in my life.
All right, okay.
Like, everyone's chanting Mamma Mia, and then when they're going Mamma Mia, then they're clap. He's clapping along.
Oh, Mauro,
so they're going Mamma Mia, and then he's not like little clapping. He's got his hands above his head doing it, so everyone can see him clapping along.
Oh, he's just happy in his little job, isn't he? Let's be honest. Like
it's so much of his dream job that he got bullied out of it and came back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I can kind of see why JBL were bullying him if he were doing stuff like that. No, because like he's taken away from the other talent.
You haven't watched the documentary about him.
What documentary?
There was a documentary done recently. I've got it.
What on
watch.
his bipolar? But
yeah, it's called The Bipolar Rock and Roller, and it's about.
But like, I'm not even saying like bullying him because he's mentally ill. Like, if he didn't suffer with mental illness and he was still clapping, I'll still be like, I can see why everyone like bullied you.
I do know what Daryl's saying.
Yeah,
like, I'm like, yeah, he suffers with it, and that's bad and whatever. Like, I'm not having a go at him.
Have you ever known any commentators who are marks for themselves? You don't know it's money, do you? Just check. It's money.
Yeah, I don't owe you any money, mate. Yeah.
That was a diamond joke, that one, wasn't it? Bants. See what I did there. Are you going to change your theme music every single time we do this podcast?
Maybe.
No? There you go. That's probably below the belt. He's all right. Either way.
He followed our page last week as well.
Hey? Oh, hello. He's all right.
Yeah, it's good to be mate.
You randomly want to have a dig at him as well.
No, he's all right. He'll take it in a way. Not in that way.
What else happened on the show? Anything you guys want to know about?
If you go for it, like start on night one, were there any matches in particular that stood out?
Yeah,
to
what
you
tournament
really
matches were really good?
All the Zach Gibson matches were mint.
Fair enough.
Like because he was that over as a heel. Everybody else, it was sort of like back and forth, like I like this one kind of thing. So like, I don't really always enjoy that kind of stuff because I like it when everyone's like booing someone.
Makes sense.
So like when we saw Progress, everyone was booing Ginny.
Yeah,
that one meant that because like everyone hated her.
Yeah.
Obviously the 6-man was amazing, right?
I hate you for this.
I know you do, but like
the only solace I can take, right, is that I know that I would only ever have gone for one show, because what happened on the second show, for as much as I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I didn't get to see that, I know I would never, you know what I mean? I would but Undisputed Era against British Strong Style.
Yeah, which just for everyone keeping track of whether they're called British Strong Style Mustache Mountain, Tyler Bate and Trent Seven came out with British Strong Style jackets on the first night, and then when they teamed on the second night, they came out with Mustache Mountain jackets on. So we don't know.
A bit like the New Age Outlaws as part of Degeneration X.
Yeah, I think so.
It is.
Yeah. So they were the standout matches, really. Travis Banks had good showings.
Yeah.
His mate were in the same block as us, chanting.
Yeah, I read this. You were in the same block as TK Cooper.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So I assumed TK Cooper had a tryout like earlier on in the day or something. Because like much like the second night, before we arrived at the arena, we walked past Kenny Williams and who's Joe Coffey's brother?
Mark Coffey.
Yeah. So we walked past Kenny Williams and Mark Coffey, and obviously Mark Coffey, spoilers, was on the show later.
Yeah. But
Kenny Williams was nowhere to be seen until they did the lap of honour around the ring.
Right. Yeah.
So I assumed that he had a tryout earlier in the day or something.
Fair
enough. Triple H was pretty funny. So again, I don't know how much of this stuff's going to make the network. So when Ginny got in, she wasn't funny because Ginny got injured, but I'm just setting it up. So Ginny got injured. There was a 4-way women's
night
match.
One, isn't it? Yeah.
Night one, 4-way women's match.
Because this won't likely go out as what it is.
No, with the way they did it, they basically after Ginny got injured, Triple H came out and did a promo, which I'll get onto in a minute, and then they reset the match, so they all came out and did their entrance again, apart from Ginny. So I assume none of the 4-way will make it. So they come out for they're at the start of the match. The match is only just really getting going.
Yeah,
and they're doing the dives to the outside of the ring that every match seems to have. And I don't know exactly what happened with Ginny, because I did see that she came out of the ring and then walked towards the entranceway where everybody was getting ready to catch.
Yeah.
So she didn't do a dive, and she was sort of like she was limping around there. But then Tony Storm came out through the ropes and landed on everyone, and then there was like a one of them like things where people out front are like kind of like gasped because they obviously saw what happened, and then the referee like jumps out of the ring straight to Ginny, and then he like puts an X up, and everyone's just like deadly quiet. And like obviously like some people are thinking, is it real or not, and whatever. And then bell rang, and then like Tony Storm was just looking like, I don't really know what to do.
On,
and and other two, Isla Dawn and Killer Kelly, were also like looking like didn't really know what to do. And then some trainers came out to help her, and then all the other women went into back, and then Ginny got helped out. She was walking and stuff, but she just had one person either side of her helping her out. I think she was okay because on the second night she was out for the lap of honour, so obviously she weren't clear to wrestle on second night, but I think she was fine. But anyway, so Triple H came out between the two matches with Johnny Saint.
Johnny Saint.
To announce the brand and everything. And when Triple H came out, people were chanting, "We want Mania, we want Mania," and he said, "I'll tell you what I tell my kids. You'll get what you get, and you'll get it when you get it."
I thought you were going to say, "I want never gets." That would have been funny.
Yeah,
that's still funny though.
So I don't think we're getting Mania anytime soon.
At least he's honest.
No, because I think what they'll do is like, "Oh, UK, you want a pay-per-view or you want a network special? You've got NXT UK TakeOver."
Yeah, why am I concerned about
NXT UK Rebellion?
Bring back Rebellion. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You know
that theme music that just says the word Rebellion over and over.
I'm guessing because Triple H were in his suit and everything, he didn't come out on a motorbike.
No, he went on a motorbike.
No, but then you could also have, like, if Johnny Saint was to have a similar entrance like that, you expect him just to come down on a bus and just...
I was going to say mobility scooter.
I just see him as type, like, even for this show, he didn't drive down, he got bus down. He's like, get Megabus, it's only a $5.
Yeah. He set up a 4-man fatal match.
Very good, yes.
On the second night.
Match. I don't imagine they had many 4-man fatals on the back on the old world of sport, did they?
No, I don't think they did, mate.
No.
But that was for the number one contendership for the UK title. So it was Mark Andrews. The other two I can't remember.
Oh my God, you were there.
I've had a sleep. And then Noam Dar
yes, I saw
showed
this.
up.
Yes, my boy's back. My boy's back.
In ridiculous shape as well. Like, best shape of his
Well, you'd hope
career.
so, hasn't he? Has he been off? Gotta be just doing something.
Yeah, so Noam Dar.
No, Neville, though.
Won that. No. Well, this is the thing. I was saying to a girlfriend when we were walking to the venue, I said, on the first night, I was like, I'm wondering if Neville's going to show up. Because, I had a feeling they were going to do some kind of surprise.
Yeah.
I didn't know what.
Yeah.
And I thought, that'd be a good surprise. I thought, what about if it ended at show when Pete Dunne's won, Neville comes out at the end of the second night when Pete Dunne, because I thought Pete Dunne were going to win. I thought Pete Dunne wins and Neville comes out and challenges him. And then that gets people going, oh, well, I want to watch this UK brand now because Neville's on it. I'm not disappointed with Noam Dar. I'd set myself up to be disappointed because I wanted Neville. But, I'd really like Noam Dar. Like, he's really good.
It's a good place to put him back in. Let's face it, it's better than, like, a random episode of 205 Live.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
So, before you talk about, like, the two big matches that you still got to talk about from night 2, I need to ask one question because it's something I've seen asked, especially by one person who listens to the show.
Okay.
What music did Ligero have?
I can't...
Just like random music.
Yeah, it wasn't his El Ligero music.
Of course it wasn't because he's not Mexican.
Yeah.
Did he just get called Ligero as well?
Yeah, it was just called Ligero,
Ligero in it.
And
that's it.
on Twitter, I only put Wild Boar, but he was called Wild Boar.
Mike Hitchman.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah,
yeah.
But I didn't like the announcer weren't very clear with some of the names he was saying, or I'm going deaf because like the women, I didn't know who some of them were. So on Twitter, I was like, look, I don't know who they are. So then I got corrected, or I got informed what they were called.
I received a message saying, "Who's doing the Twitter for the shows?" I went, "It's Daryl." Like, oh, makes sense.
We established last week that Daryl was doing the show. We said he was going. I've been ranting about how jealous I am of the fact that he's going and I'm not. Turned out, by the way, I think it was on the weekend before the Royal Albert Hall went, this show should finish about 10:30. So I could have got a train at 11:30 that would have got me back to Doncaster at 1:30. I'd have been fine for work in the morning. Cheers. Anyway, go on.
Killer Kelly is the first Portuguese-born wrestler to appear in WWE.
What about Aldo Montoya, Man of War?
Well, this is the thing. When they said that on Twitter, Just Incredible tweeted back saying, both my parents are Portuguese. It's just that I was born in America, but I am actually Portuguese. And so now they've slightly changed, saying Portuguese-born talent.
Excellent. I like that rather than acknowledging just Incredible, they're just like, yeah, but, it's fine.
before the main event on night one, Shawn Michaels came out. I don't think this will make the network, to be honest. He literally just basically went, WWE UK's good, innit? UK wrestlers are mint. That's essentially what it were.
Not surprising.
Yeah. I did. The fans were singing his entrance song, and he looked to the entranceway and off mic, and he said mouthed something about the time, and just looked at his watch and pointed like to his wrist, like his watch. So I imagine that the show ran over a little bit. So like he just kept it short and got out of there,
right?
Because they advertised an appearance from him.
Yeah.
So he kind of had to come out. They couldn't really cut it. But yeah, they weren't really much of any substance, and they can probably cut that out.
He did the 2008 big import spot.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Well, a great company. I'm glad to be here.
Glad to be here for, what does that say again? One Pro W.
So on
where do I get paid?
Yeah.
On the first night, they did the thing where they show some wrestlers in the crowd watching the show, and they had NXT champion. I can't
Aleister Black.
Aleister Black with Ricochet.
Good.
Just stood in the crowd. But obviously, when you're watching it live, you realise they're not watching the matches. They literally they get them stood there. They show them in the crowd. They're waving everything, and then as soon as the camera goes away, boom, they're back.
Oh yeah, they straight up leave. Yeah.
Like Christian were there for 20 seconds on night 2. So look out for that.
I love the idea. Hold on. Like, so in their world, is that just like Christian just rocked up in London for some reason?
Yeah.
Like in canon. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, that was one. I think it was the Blackpool show that you were at.
Yeah.
They went, now, he must have really been there as a spectator, but anyway, they were like, look, all the UK's celebrities are here. Here's Darren Fletcher, current former Scotland captain and current Stoke player. Not quite as good as Wayne Rooney slapping Wade Barrett, is it?
Nah.
No. Second night, Wolfgang had a match with Adam Cole. Do you know what? I think I'm actually losing my mind, to be honest. I can't remember names.
I'm starting to wonder if you were there, to be honest. This is all work.
And we all know his full name is Adam Cole, baby.
Oh, yeah.
And his full gimmick.
And I'll tell you how over Adam Cole is. People were booing Wolfgang.
Well, that's not a huge surprise. Don't put the Scottish guy against Adam Cole.
Oh, yeah. They were also like chanting anti-Scottish things at him. Yeah, just like F Scotland, basically.
That's kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, but WWE UK have made that. They've made that okay by holding no tapings in Scotland. Cheers, guys. Or Yorkshire. Cheers. Why do you hate me personally, Triple H? Is it because of all the things I've said about him? I think it is.
It might be.
Yeah.
Did we ever bring up the Triple H thing off the sleeves list when we were doing that thing?
No, we didn't get far into this.
No, we didn't get far into that before we decided. I think we put that one to bed pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Because it sounds funny to do until it's just depressing.
Yeah,
let's leave it. Right, so Coffee Brothers, they're out and about, aren't they? Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey, they're going to be a tag team in WWE UK.
Well,
I don't think I've ever seen them. Were they on the World of Sport as a tag team?
They were on the World of Sport as a tag team.
Okay, so I've seen them team once then. Because I was thinking, I don't think I've ever seen them team.
I think they teamed in early days of ICW as well.
Yeah, I can't say I will watch.
They went to 0-1 together as a team as well.
But yeah, they came and beat down the people that were in the 4-way match that I can't remember. Here we go. It was Travis Banks.
Yes.
Mark Andrews.
Yes.
And Flash Morgan Webster.
Right. And Noam Dar.
They didn't beat Noam Dar down.
Of course they. Oh no! Is this the faction?
Well, I don't know. But what happened is they came down, and Noam Dar kind of like got out the ring as they ran in. So they beat everybody up. Then Noam Dar went to like sort of walk back to save them, and then he kind of just went nah, and then walked
All right,
back up the entranceway.
So long as it's not the faction, because
do you not want it to be the faction?
No, I remember being excited for that in 1PW, and then they came out and said we're just the faction. Like clearly what happened was, and I mean either of you could correct me if I'm wrong here, they had 4 Scottish superstars, which was, now I don't think our boy Jim was in it. I think it was
are we allowed to mention him now?
No.
No.
It was Scott Rennick, Kid Fight, Jimmy James, and Lionheart.
Yeah.
And Lionheart came out as the sort of mouthpiece, and the people kept going, "Oh, just put the Scottish guys together." And I was like, "Isn't that a bit Nation of Domination?" But okay. And that's what they did. And then clearly what they'd said is, put your own name. And because everyone was like, "Oh, they could be called the Clan or whatever," and then Lionheart comes out and goes, "We don't have a name. We're just the faction." I'm like, that's the worst name. Literally the worst name you could possibly... So many names you could have come up with, and you came up with that.
And the fact they were going to be over with 2 people in that venue. Three. Nick Mills, you, and Cocaine Lorraine.
Oh, God. Cocaine Lorraine. We need a whole podcast for Cocaine Lorraine.
Ricochet and Aleister Black versus Velveteen Dream and EC3 on the second night was a very, very good house show style match. That's not an insult.
No, it's something.
So
we all have show match, don't we?
Yeah. Velveteen.
There's a real art to it, genuinely.
Velveteen Dream was amazing, right? Just the little things he does off camera. Well, what I assume will be off camera. So like, there's a bit where during the entrances, he's just sat on the guardrail while the others are making entrances, and EC3's like pulling faces, like not knowing what's going on.
That's amazing.
Like it's just like crazy what kind of stuff he's doing away from the camera, and I'm worried when he goes up to the main roster.
Oh, he's going to get eaten alive. No way. He's going to be even remotely as entertaining as he is now.
Yeah. So they did a spot where the referee missed the tag. And for the UK listeners, you'll understand what this is. Or if you're a fan of football, you'll understand what this is. There was a VAR chant because the ref missed something. Velveteen Dream looked very confused when everyone was chanting VAR.
Oh, dear. I do like British crowds. They're like even the ones that have elements of that we don't particularly enjoy, they're still better than the American ones, aren't they?
Yeah.
There's no question in my mind. My wife says,
go on.
The way my wife puts it is, with a British crowd, right, you at least get some variety in what they chant. There's a wit to it, whereas every American chant is just syllable, and that's everything in America.
Yeah.
Whereas over here, at least you get stuff like VAR and take your shoes off if you hate Gibson and put your shoes back on if you hate Gibson. Brilliant.
Tony Storm versus Shayna Baszler. They kept Tony Storm strong.
Good.
So, because I didn't actually say on Twitter exactly how they did this. So, Shayna Baszler choked out Tony Storm.
Yeah.
And then left her outside the ring for a count out. But what they actually did was she had her inside the ring choking her out.
Yeah.
And she refused to give up, and like she got out of it several times.
Yeah.
So eventually she lobbed her outside the ring, choked her out, then just dove back into the ring and let the referee count her out.
Right.
But the logical flaw behind that is if she was down on the floor for 10, you could have picked her up, thrown her in the ring, and pinned her for 3.
Yeah, good point.
Or if you manage to choke her outside the ring, throw her back in, put the choke back on inside the ring, she's already unconscious.
I guess you could throw out the suggestion though that if she's unconscious, she might just think she's on the mat, whereas in the ring she's going to know that she's got Shayna Baszler on top of her.
And much like her uncle Johnny, Tony Storm got the Johnny Storm pop.
She got the Tony Storm.
Yeah.
Can we rename it the Tony Storm pop?
We can, because Baszler came back and beat her down after.
Oh, no.
So she got the Tony Storm pop, and then Baszler beat her down.
So can we agree the Tony Storm pop is when you stay in the ring for the Johnny Storm pop, but then you get beaten up again? Right,
yeah.
There we go. That's fine. It runs in the family.
So we got then we got the final of the not the final, the main event. So it was Pete Dunne versus Post left out the tag match, by the way.
Of course, yeah.
Pete Dunne versus Zach Gibson. That was really good. Again, everybody hated Gibson. Pete Dunne massively over, massive. Honestly, I thought they would have took the belt off him because I thought he'd be going to proper NXT. But because they've announced this NXT UK thing, they probably want it on their most over guy. They
probably want to bridge the gap a little bit as well,
yeah.
I think. Plus, it's an extra expense to bring Pete Dunne across to the US and make him a US-based NXT guy in it, that actually at the moment, if they can use him as a drawing name for the NXT UK brand, they might not need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So then to end the show, Triple H comes out. He does a tiny little speech that basically putting all fans over, and then says, "We are NXT." He's got all the rosters out, apart from Zach Gibson, because he's maintaining being the only true heel in the company. Where like, oh yeah, you know what? You know my feelings on heels that want to be over. They do a lap of honour and then everyone goes home. What I missed out was the first match of the night. Purposely missed it out because it was the
first match of the night.
Yeah,
holy hell!
Because it was the best match over the weekend, not just because there was the title change.
Yeah,
like honestly, if there weren't a title change, I'd still be saying it was the best match of the weekend. I would have said the 6-man from the night before, but
yeah, yak it up, mate.
But like, I don't know, there were just
there's something different about this. I can imagine
because it was obviously a title match. There were so many near falls, and then even though I didn't think they were going to change the belt, like I was still like thinking, oh, like it was close,
yeah.
And then like they did so many like proper like false finishes where. Like they've hit the finish, they've kicked out the finish, they've hit it, they've kicked out, they've thrown them all outside the ring. They're going to do the finish in the pin, and then the guy still kicks out. And there's so many of when Undisputed Era like cheated, and you think, oh, this is the finish, and then obviously it's not. And then when the pinfall comes, and if I remember rightly, the finish, it's that that slingshot clothesline thing that Tyler Bate does. I don't know if he likes kind of like. Dives into top rope and sort of springs back, and Trent Seven's holding the opponent and in like a full Nelson, and then he like sort of throws him back.
Right.
I don't know if I've explained that right. It's like full Nelson, but he
it's like suplex.
Yeah, but he throws him back for like in a German position. If that like a bridging thing.
So it's like his little clothesline with the dragon suplex. It is the dragon.
Oh, it's a dragon suplex. So, okay. Yeah. And then the 3, and I was like, well, that's mental.
Of course.
Because like, why would you put the belts on the ones that are clearly going to be the UK tag team champions?
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I was delighted to see it. I don't know. Are we gonna?
Yeah, like ultra spoilers. Skip the next 1 minute 30 seconds if you don't want to know what happens in NXT in the next few weeks. So they all flew over to Orlando and did tapings there. And Mustache Mountain dropped the titles back to the Undisputed Era.
Yeah, I assume it's just not to mess up storylines.
However, the way they did it was a bit different, and I wasn't going to give a finish, but I might as well because I've started.
Plus you've still got another minute and 15, so if I don't take any more of your time, it'll be easy to...
Yeah, they worked on Trent Seven's leg the entire time, talked about the fact that he'd injured his knee beforehand, and it got to the point where Tyler Bate threw in the towel to stop Trent Seven getting seriously injured. So that's how they did the title change. I
mean, obviously I wasn't there, so I didn't have the emotional attachment to it, but does that affect your enjoyment of the match at all?
No.
Yeah.
No, I was there for the match. I was there for the moment.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter what happens after, does it? Like,
looking at how they did the tapings, that might be the match that happens at the next NXT pay-per-view. It
would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I saw some people complaining on Twitter, would you believe?
About what?
Do you want to know what they're complaining about?
Go on.
Well, should have been Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. I'm so serious, mate. I wish I was kidding.
Oney Lorcan? Are you for real? Danny Burch slipped over in Bath once and pulled his back out. Like,
Danny Burch was the 1PW champion.
I don't know your money.
There you go.
Like, no, right. Obviously, like I like Danny Burch. Like, and I don't know enough about Oney Lorcan to like him, but. Why? Why should it have been them?
Well, maybe we should start talking about NXT TakeOver, and you might have the reason why on that pay-per-view.
Not just yet. I want to ask you a question, which will probably lead into next week's show.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Do you think? Yeah, are you ready? Do you think this is to you, Dan? NXT UK is good or bad for UK wrestling, and I only want good or bad.
Oh,
you can elaborate next week.
Ultimately good.
Stop.
Right, that's fine. There you go.
Right, Graeme, what do you think, good or bad?
Bad.
Okay.
Can I change my answer by next week?
Yeah, because I thought you'd be the other way around, to be honest.
Well, exactly, to be honest, yeah. Right, there you go. There's
teaser for next week. We're going to debate whether NXT UK is good or bad for the UK wrestling scene.
But we're going to talk about NXT off of the original NXT, but not the real original NXT, which was good.
Yeah.
The current NXT.
There's now
which is
several versions of NXT.
Yeah. See, there was good
multiverse.
NXT, which we've referred to as good NXT. Then there's current NXT. Now there's UK NXT. Do you think UK NXT will start off with 10 hopefuls trained by 10 pros who will have to carry barrels?
I hope so.
I mean, that's the only way to start an NXT brand, isn't it?
Instead of barrels, they could carry Wild Boar Mike Hitchman. Because
Yes,
he's
they
shaped
could.
like a barrel.
Yes, they could.
I like Wild Boar, but he is
I
shaped
don't like the
a
name
barrel.
Mike Hitchman. I can see why he calls himself Wild Boar.
Or can I volunteer as tribute and they can carry Daryls?
Yeah. Yes. Like British words are spelled differently to American ones.
Yeah, so it's fine.
Barrels and Daryls.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Right. Takeover. Let's talk.
Yeah, so the show opened with Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan taking on the Undisputed Era for the tag titles in an absolutely brilliant match, like way better than it had any rights to be. It was probably helped a lot as well by the Chicago crowd was really hot for the entire show, but this match was absolutely brilliant.
Carry on.
Finn, we're not.
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, yeah, that was the opener. After that, we got Ricochet versus Velveteen Dream in what ended up being the match of the night.
Can I get a Wrestle Fashions, please?
Wrestle Fashions.
Velveteen
Haven't done that one in a while.
Velveteen Dream was wearing Prince Puma tights.
Prince Puma.
Seeing all that things, it's like, it comes out and you're like, okay, he's dressed as Hogan. And then afterwards, someone posted a picture of Ricochet wearing those exact tights from PWG last year.
Yeah.
And it's like, Ricochet actually gave him his Prince Puma tights. But did you know that the opening 10 minutes of that match was like beat for beat Hogan Rock?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Genuinely,
That's
the
amazing.
opening 10 minutes of that match is Ricochet as The Rock and Velveteen Dream as Hogan. They do everything from the beginning of the match beat by beat.
Ricochet likes to tell people that he's The Rock's favourite wrestler, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Even though...
Even like before he signed for WWE, you'd always see him doing interviews and stuff wearing like the Rock Under Armour gear and stuff.
Well, The Rock is actually keen on Ricochet, isn't he?
Yeah.
The Rock knows who he is, but yeah. He likes being
He's also a fan of Kevin Steen, even though first time he asked Kurt Hawkins about him, he said, "Who's this Killsteen guy?" After that was Shayna Baszler versus Nikki
why was he asking Kurt Hawkins?
Because Kurt Hawkins and Curtis Axel were the two who went to train him for his match.
Yeah, they were like, you know, like when
They were his training dummies.
Yeah.
they were training dummies, like, you know, like when football teams get like one of their players who's a little bit similar to play in that role.
Yeah.
I was thinking more about, the tackling dummies they have on things that the coach stands on and shouts at his players.
Well, there is that, yeah.
With that.
They were basically, what's the word? Oh, there's a word like replacement sceners, but the better word than that. I've ruined it. Carry on.
So the women's title match was good. It was probably the weakest match on the card, but it was still quite good. It was just because everything else was really great. After that, we got the new signing sat in the crowd with Keith Lee sat there.
Yeah. So what do you think of this?
I'm happy for Keith Lee because he's got a very weird career where he was wrestling for like 10 or 11 years before he broke out. Like he was just down in Texas wrestling.
He was doing that $5 wrestling, weren't he, Keith Lee?
No,
No.
he definitely was not.
No, let's not do
No.
that.
Oh, okay.
He did it. Don't look at me. Like,
Yeah.
you blame me. He's back to normal form.
But so yeah, he was like in Texas for a while. He finally got his breakout by going up to Beyond and wrestling Donovan Dijak there, and then broke out over the last year or two and really became a big star in the Indies. So I'm really glad for him getting the shot, and he's absolutely brilliant.
Didn't he have a match at Access against Cassius Ohno?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, which was quite a nice thing to do as well, considering Keith Lee, when he first went to Evolve, this is when he was still in this stage of like, is he going to be this big star we think he is? They put him against Cassius Ohno in the match where the ring ropes broke, and Cassius Ohno did a very good job of putting him over after the match, saying that Keith Lee's going to be the next big star for Evolve, which he was for a long period.
Cassius Ohno, rings break a lot around him, don't they?
Yeah.
Seriously, joking aside, like,
he's got like a curse against him.
He was in the ring when the he was in the Evolve ring broke. He was in the ring when the King of Europe Cup kicked off and the ring broke.
Yep. It's happened to him like 4 or 5 times. Like ring ropes have broken him.
Do you think he sabotages them?
Eats
him.
maybe.
Eats him.
Yeah.
You might have to jog my memory here. Oh, so next was the title match. Aleister Black versus Lars Sullivan in a really great match again.
Do you think Aleister Black is going to get mad that he wasn't in the main event twice in a row and then go to UFC and get beaten in however many seconds and then have another fight where he gets beaten over 3 rounds by a journalist?
Considering
Do you think that will happen? Yes or no?
No.
There you go. Thank you.
And considering Alistair Black has like a very good background in kickboxing,
Does he?
Yeah.
Does he? Couldn't hit a kick in a fake fight though, could he?
Oh
Boom.
no! Come on. Was that the last?
But yeah.
Was that the botch?
Yeah. They did a very good job in this match of making Alistair Black look like the top guy, but also keeping Lars Sullivan very strong in defeat.
Yeah, which I think is smart because I don't really know enough about Lars Sullivan to decide whether he's good or not. I've not seen enough of him. Alistair Black's clearly good.
Yeah.
We know this. But if they want, I don't mind if they want to protect Lars Sullivan a bit because they need like Vince loves his big men. Triple H knows this, so Vince sees him. Chances are they're going to pluck him to main roster before a lot of other people. Do you want him to be Big Cass or do you want him to be Braun Strowman?
Yeah, exactly.
Good point.
And then we got the main event of Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa in a street fight that was phenomenal. I don't know if it was as good as their last match, but it was pretty phenomenal and almost played really well as the feud ender.
Yeah.
But is it going to be the feud ender though?
Judging by the
they're
1-1, they're not going to be like opposite each other for a little while.
Right. Maybe you wait for one of them to get the title until.
But the big story of this match was Johnny Gargano kind of turned the tables, and it wasn't quite a double turn because Tommaso Ciampa is still the most hated person in NXT. But
another proper heel.
He did the Tommaso Ciampa's finish through a table and sat there like Tommaso Ciampa did 1 year ago, and. Also,
but for me, that's not like a heelish thing. That's revenge. He's the babyface.
Yeah. But then he took it too far by continuing trying to do the beatdown until the point where Tommaso Ciampa managed to hit him with a move and pin him and win the match. So
Mugged himself off there, hasn't he?
Yeah, there was getting revenge, but then he went too far with it and it cost him. And now the story seems to be Tommaso Ciampa's going for the title while he's living in frustration and using Tommaso Ciampa's finish to beat people.
Ooh.
If you were Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, would you prefer to be doing this on NXT, or would you prefer to be treading water on the main roster on 205 Live?
I think NXT.
Yeah.
Do you remember that time that Johnny Gargano was announced for 205 Live?
I don't, but it doesn't surprise me that he was.
When they first did the draft, when they brought the draft back, they said the Cruiserweight division's coming to Raw, and he was one of the little talking heads on it.
Okay.
And I assume it was Triple H that must have gone, yeah, we kind of need this guy. Just hold back on him for a minute. What? Johnny who? No, don't know any Johnny Vince. Run, Johnny. Run away.
So,
run away from the purple.
Little bit to do with what we were just talking about, but something I just remembered. I've seen a video of like a press conference, which we need to get on these press things somehow because there's loads of absolute chances that I've never even heard of that go to these press things. Just stick a microphone in front of Triple H's face and get to ask him a question.
I must admit, I saw that they had a press conference down there. I was a bit like, Daryl, get on it. But I didn't know where it was.
Yeah,
so
me neither.
If I know where it was, I would have been like, Daryl, get on it.
Yeah, I'd have just turned up.
Yeah.
So somebody asked Triple H what Vince... I think the question was, what does Vince think of the NXT UK brand? But Triple H just kind of gave it as a general NXT thing. At first he said, like, he knows that these tapers were quite expensive.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah, but then he said, like, look, people think that he don't know what's going on in his company, but he does. He knows everything that's going on. And that he was saying that, like, he knows about all the talent and stuff, and that but the shows are catered to different kinds of fans. Then he started talking about how, like, if you're a fan of different kind of music, you like what you like, kind of thing. And do you think he's just covering for Vince because he knows that Vince don't really know what NXT is, kind of thing? Like,
I'm sure Vince just knows what it is, but probably isn't that interested.
Do you think in
it.
Vince's head he just thinks, oh, it's basically our indie brand?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Because he's like, that's not my thing.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But Triple H was talking about something. He didn't say booking, but he was, from what I gather from it, he was basically saying we book it differently. Yeah. Because he was saying that we cater to different fans. And
yeah, because what I think people forget is that Triple H is still very active and creative on the main roster shows. Like, people are always banging on about, oh, well, Triple H takes over, it'll be, but he's still very active now. So if he wanted to veto something, he could. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that Yeah, so NXT's his baby, innit? So like, I think he's going to look after that more than he would. Like, you got to pick your battles, aren't you?
Yeah.
Is there any point of him arguing whether Enzo Amore should be the focal point of 205 Live?
No.
Where I think he's got more of a thing going. Let's keep Asuka for a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like that benefits him more if he can do these mint shows. Eventually, when Vince dies and he becomes what Vince is, the shareholders are going to be like, oh, well, he's clearly right for the job because look at all this stuff he's done.
Yeah, that's part of what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's literally in charge of building a brand so that when that comes about, because theoretically, I think they could say, we don't really want this guy, he's got no experience, but he doesn't. That's not the case now anymore.
I'd be more worried when, not to like talk about people dying all the time, but like when Vince dies, I'd be quite worried about what NXT becomes. Because if Triple H's focus is then on the main roster,
leave it on William Regal, maybe.
I don't know. Does he have much of a say in creative?
Genuinely, I don't know.
Yeah, like it depends who's got a big say in creative down there, doesn't it?
Maybe that's something to bring into next week as well.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Well, to help bridge the gap to what we're talking about next, there was a thing that happened outside of all his WWE shows last week where we got a WWE versus New Japan matchup.
Oh, I saw this.
At E3, in a Street Fighter 5 battle, was New Day versus the Elite.
Yeah.
Have you seen anything of this, Graeme?
No.
I've watched the full thing.
I knew it happened.
I haven't watched the full thing. I've seen the first bit where they're cutting promos on each other and making jokes about how I'm surprised you came out here to talk, New Day, because you hadn't got anyone to write your scripts for you today.
Yeah.
And then the New Day responded with something about, well, at least we've been together all year, so of course we know what to say. Like having a few digs at each other. But then they had the battle. I know that Kenny Omega won his matchup. I don't know what happened in the other two.
Well, I don't really know how Street Fighter works, to be honest, because they did a 3-on-3 to begin with, but there were only they were 1v1, but they were doing it in teams.
Yeah.
The Young Bucks lost theirs.
Okay.
Omega won, but I can't remember who they beat on the other team. What I do know is on that 3 versus 3, Omega didn't face Xavier Woods, which then set up the match after, which was a 1st to 5 Omega versus Woods.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how much of that was works because I think it went down to the last fight.
Yeah.
Which Omega won, and because he won, before that fight though, they said whoever loses, the losing team has to eat a habanero pepper.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
But Woods like cut a promo after, which saying like, oh well, you know, I agreed to that, so I'll take all 3 peppers. And Omega's like being proper hammy, like going like, yeah, you have got to eat them all, like, and like playing like a bad guy, but like hamming it up like a pantomime villain. And so he eats the 2 peppers, and then all the people are cheering for him. So then Omega's like, no, I'm not having you cheer for him. No, anything you can do, I can do better. I will eat the last pepper. So then he ate the last pepper, and then I think Woods was like genuinely nearly dying.
No wonder.
Yeah, it was like crying, like he wanted milk. Like it was. Yeah, it was awful.
Well, here's the summary of the results. Kofi defeated Nick Jackson.
Okay.
Kenny defeated Big E, and then Xavier Woods obviously beat Matt Jackson.
Yeah. And I don't know if there's going to be some kind of link to actual wrestling with this, because Kenny Omega used a new character called Cody, who fights in a suit.
Right, we've spoken about this before, or rather we've spoken about it privately. So basically, Kenny Omega plays... it's a very strange situation, because I thought this was weird as well. Cody is a pre-existing Street Fighter character, right?
Okay.
He's the mayor of the town in Street Fighter or whatever. He might also be from Final Fight, I'm not 100% certain. But he's a pre-existing character that in a live advert, they got Kenny Omega to play. But here's the awkward thing and the weird thing about it, right? Cody, already named Cody, is a bleached blonde American who wears a suit.
Yeah.
So basically, for all intents and purposes, he looks like Cody Rhodes, but he's played by Kenny Omega for Capcom in their adverts. So that's what I can tell you about him.
Yeah, but he used Cody to beat Woods.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how Street Fighter works, but the first 2 fights he lost, And he went, oh yeah, well, you've not seen my secret V-trigger. And then he switched something out, and instead of using a knife for his V-trigger, he used a steel pipe, which he was able to throw balls up and smash them like a baseball. I don't know if Street Fighter fans, you might.
No idea.
One annoying thing about the whole stream is that the mics weren't live all the time, so like you could hear commentators commentating over the fight, but you couldn't hear the trash talk between the two players, which I imagine would have been because the two guys I don't think were wrestling fans that were commentating, so they didn't really get a lot of stuff that was happening.
Right.
So it would have been more entertaining to hear them, because sometimes the Young Bucks like were grabbing the mic and were talking, and you could see it happening, but you couldn't hear it.
Right.
But they did super kick the host. So the host was stood near the side of the stage, and they both double super kicked him off the stage.
Good. Yeah, on Being the Elite afterwards as well, they hinted that there's more to come between those two. So maybe we might actually get that at some point, finally.
No, it's not happening.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Get what?
So they hinted...
A match?
Yeah.
No.
Firstly, if WWE and New Japan could come to some kind of agreement, no offense to Xavier Woods, I'm a big fan of his YouTube channel. Like they're doing this series at minute where him and Tyler Breeze play one of the general manager modes, and like it's really funny.
It's basically what we wanted to do, but then we didn't do it, and they've done it and better.
Yeah, well, they were always doing it better
because they were.
Yeah. But they're not wasting it on Xavier Woods.
Yeah,
if they can get Kenny Omega for a match, he's going against like John Cena or somebody like Roman Reigns, somebody like that, isn't he?
Yeah, you're right.
Like they're not, and if they can get the Elite are wrestling the Shield. I'm telling you now, the Elite are not wrestling New Day.
Yeah, it's not wrong.
They're going to reunite the Shield.
Well, before any of that happens, though, we've got the big thing coming up starting on July 13th. I believe.
What's that, mate?
The biggest time of the year for myself personally. I get very excited for it. The G1 Climax 28.
Never heard of it, mate.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, right, we've talked about the little companies, by which I mean NXT, which is absolutely not a little company. Why don't we say we'll talk about the big companies in just a minute? So we've got New Japan's G1, and we've got to address Money in the Bank a little bit as well, haven't we? Even though we're not going to address a great deal about it. Very quickly, though, one thing I want to say, I want to make a correction to something we said last week because it's already been ruined.
Okay.
Ring of Honor are no longer running Madison Square Garden.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw this.
Show was cancelled. I don't know why. There's some issue with it. I'm led to believe it's something to do with WWE.
Yeah, Ring of Honor, Sinclair are threatening lawsuits about it, so...
So we're definitely not getting involved in that because no one's dead, so we can't slander them. We'll talk about the big companies after this.
Before the renaissance of British wrestling. Before the revolution. Before the progress. There was one. One company who pushed the boundaries. One company on the lips of British wrestling fans. One of the most controversial companies in British wrestling history. One company bringing pro wrestling dream matches to the UK.
Dearly beloved, we're gathered here tonight to celebrate the life of one PW.
The Royal Grumble brings to you the in-depth look at the company that brought them together. The company that brought eyes from around the world to a small town in the north of England. 1PW, version 1, 2005 to 2007.
Coming soon.
Subscribe now.
We do not owe you money.
But you do owe me discussion of big companies, Daryl, right now.
Oh, mate.
G1 2018. We've been doing this show for nearly 3 years now, and every year the G1 is a big deal for us.
Yeah.
Especially for Dan.
Yeah, I was saying beforehand that I'm going to try and taper my World Cup viewing down so I don't ruin my life for more than 1 month.
So you've got your
the G stands for Graeme.
Does it?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's global.
Oh.
Sorry. I mean, I hope it stands for Graeme. So you've got your World Cup wall chart up there. Got your G1 wall chart up there.
No, sadly not.
What?
No, where would you get a G1 wall chart from?
Oh, wait and see. Oh, we're tickling your balls.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You've done that in a while, mate.
Please, someone carry on.
So the G1 Climax details were announced. They announced all the participants on Monday and then announced the blocks on Tuesday. The blocks are as follows, and with a bit of information about how many G1s they've been in.
I'm going to make a single word comment on every single wrestler.
A block, Hiroshi Tanahashi, 17th time entrant, 17th consecutive entry.
Ace.
Yeah. Togi Makabe, 15th time entrant, 15th consecutive entry.
Toga P.
As soon as you said Makabe, I was looking at him because I knew he wouldn't know what to say.
Next one, Michael Elgin.
And we're back. Carry on.
Kazuchika Okada, 7th time entrant, 7th consecutive entry.
Mint.
Jay White, G1 debut.
Who cares?
Who?
Switchblade, knife pervert. Yoshihashi, 3rd time entrant, 3rd consecutive entry. Yeah.
Hyphen.
I don't think I could pick Yoshihashi out of a lineup.
Well, here's the thing about
Racist.
Yoshihashi being in. Everyone instantly pointed out we're going to get a rematch of one of of possibly the worst Okada match ever, which was his return from excursion when he faced Yoshihashi at Wrestle Kingdom. That match is awful, and we're going to get a rematch.
Oh, lovely.
Next up, Bad Luck Fale, 5th time entrant, 5th consecutive.
Big.
This could be his year.
G1 debut for Hangman Page.
Yeah.
Fine.
Better than Jay White.
Yeah.
Next up, Evil.
Indeed.
Is that evil in all caps?
And then
Remember my joke?
tying up the A block, 8th time entrant, but only 2nd consecutive G1, Minoru Suzuki.
Lovely.
Yeah, let's not say anything bad about it. Is there any matchups in particular? So the block's going to close the final weekend. That block is closing with Tanahashi versus Okada in a repeat of 2 years ago when the G1 A block closed with that.
That'll be good. I'm more interested in Suzuki against Okada.
Yeah, I mean, both the matches they've had in recent history have both been really good.
Also, Suzuki will just smash him around because he's mad, isn't he?
Yeah.
Big mad head.
I'm looking forward to seeing how Hangman Page and Jay White both doing this, because it's a good opportunity for Jay White to really show what he's capable of, and Hangman Page has got a lot better.
It is a
this
good
past year.
opportunity for Jay White to show what he is capable of. Hangman Page is all right.
Yeah. And
I
plus,
thought I didn't like him until I saw him live. He's all right.
yeah, Hangman Page is pretty decent. So then there's the B block.
Big banter B block. Best block.
Yeah. So the B block, 2nd time entrant, Juice Robinson.
Juicy.
Parker. That was his name off of NXT, wasn't it?
11th time entrant, 11th consecutive entry, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, Hiroki Goto.
Shame.
Tomohiro Ishii, 6th time entrant, 6th consecutive entry, the current RPW British Heavyweight Champion. But will he still be champion at the G1?
No.
Is he the one that looks like you've squashed him?
Yeah, he's like Stone Pitbull is the best nickname for him ever. Next up, 13th time entrant, his 12th consecutive entry, Toru Yano's back.
Nuts.
Balls.
I'm a bit gutted that he's not in the same block as Suzuki again, because he has like an undefeated record in the G1 against Suzuki, which is hilarious that he manages to beat him.
Wait till they meet in the final.
Yes, that is a possibility. Next up, the IWGP champion, Kenny Omega.
It's alright, isn't it?
Losing.
3rd time entrant, 3rd consecutive entry, because he won his G1 debut 2 years ago. Next up, the other half of the Golden Lovers, Kota Ibushi.
Winning. He's winning his block anyway. Tell you right now.
Next up, 3rd time entrant, Tama Tonga.
I like Tama Tonga.
Haku.
I feel like Tama Tonga's been forgotten about quite a bit in this past year, so that again it'll be a good opportunity for him. Next up, Tetsuya Naito, 9th time entrant, 9th consecutive entry.
Yeah.
It's that weird thing where you forget how old, like Naito's like in his late 30s. It's kind of crazy to me because it seems like he's almost a different person from the guy who was around before. And
Ingobernables.
yes. Speaking of Ingobernables,
yep.
Next up, Sonata.
Fine.
Cold Skull.
Yeah, he's all right.
And then, topping off this block, Zack Sabre Jr. Second G1.
Lads, yeah.
Oh, talk to me about the Labour Party.
Bring it up. All right.
He was on Daily Politics this past week.
Yeah, he went to some Labour convention and whinged that they didn't have enough plant-based food. Like, just enjoy the politics, mate.
Exactly. That's what you like, innit?
So yeah,
and alcohol from local breweries. Just have a Budweiser, mate.
So the big things in this block, obviously, Omega versus Ibushi is happening. It's going to happen at the Budokan where they had their famous match in DDT several years ago. It's the final match of the B block.
Yeah, but is that going to be a match between a man who had a wrestling match on a dock in Canada and a man who had a wrestling match in front of 40 people in a nightclub in Coventry? No, so that's why Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr. is clearly going to be better.
So yeah, we'll get Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr.
How early is that? Do we have the fixtures yet?
They have all been announced, but I haven't got them in front of me.
Okay, all right.
But if only there was a wall chart available which showed you exactly when when everyone was going against each other, let you fill it all in.
If only there was some way we could do that. If only there was some way. Tickle their balls, Daryl. Tickle their balls.
Yeah?
Yeah, do it.
Just take it all, just deep throat. Go for it.
All right, that's a bit. He's gone.
I'm not sure if that should. That's a.
I think. Yeah, I think that's a
sexual reference. That
it's not swearing.
No, it's not swearing, is it? Because you do a lot of that stuff. So
what?
Not the deep throating. Just. Were there any T-shirts outside the Royal Albert Hall, by the way?
No.
Devastating.
The merchandise was an absolute disaster.
Really?
So they had like a little merchandise stand when I walked in, and it had one T-shirt which was one of them I've been there T-shirts, but not the one that I'm wearing, which I realise that's a visual thing for you guys.
But yeah,
it was a different one which had...
Yours is the one that looks a bit Motorheady.
Yeah, the other one had like actual photographs of the wrestlers on.
No one likes them.
Nah.
No.
And then they had like NXT snapbacks, Undisputed Era armbands, and some NXT programs, and that was about it. At the end of the night, they said, "Oh, the merchandise stand is outside door 6." Or in near door 6. So we walked out of entrance 6. And that's where the proper stuff was. So they had like T-shirts of all NXT blokes that were there. They had like all other stuff, and they had this T-shirt that I've got on, which is a different I Was There one, which is a little bit better.
It's quite nice.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
So,
not in that way.
So yeah, the G1 starts. It's the final weekend of the World Cup is when the G1 starts, and it's all going to be on New Japan World, all with English commentary this year.
Yeah,
every single
that.
show is live with English commentary.
Kevin Kelly and Don Callis.
Yeah, Kevin Kelly is also commentating on the Strong Style Evolve shows next weekend.
He is, yeah. Look at him smile that out, trying to make it like it's not a Rev Pro show. Kevin Kelly and who? A Rev Pro commentator, man?
Might be Andy Boy.
Probably is. Nah, we'll not go back into that. I listened back to last week's show. You get really angry. It's fun. Right, so the merch stand, did they sell any Money in the Bank briefcases? Oh,
if only, mate.
Yeah. They sell them at normal shows, don't they?
Yeah.
But you know who does have a Money in the Bank briefcase?
Who?
Oh, the people who won the Money in the Bank matches. I'll level with you. I didn't watch a lot of them. So let's run through it very quickly. I can't believe this is supposed to be one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year, but when you load up the network and it goes 4 hours, 14 minutes, it puts you off a little bit.
During the World Cup, on the day of England's opening game.
Yep.
Yeah, but I don't think WWE are that bothered that it's England's game, are they?
Well, they clearly aren't, because they put that Royal Albert Hall show on the same night as England's game. Do you know what? I'm going to keep doing it now. I'm just going to keep annoying myself. I looked at tickets. Train tickets were relatively cheap. And do you know what? I reckon I could have got a pair of tickets. A pair for 25 quid.
Yeah?
Yeah.
One of my
probably
friends,
always regret it.
Just to rub this in a bit more, one of my friends gave away some tickets on night 2.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to night 2.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, no.
Oh, you got to
What's the
answer.
rule for phone calls?
Answer it, take it on loudspeaker.
Hey. Oh. Hello?
It's
We're
live.
recording still.
We're live on the Royal Grumble.
Yeah, and we're recording,
Dan
so
and
I have
his
to answer you
fiancée.
now, and it has to stay in the show. So, are you on your way home? Okay, I will
She is
see
on
you
her
soon.
way home. Good news.
Love you too. Bye.
And we love you too. There we
Because
go.
She would have definitely used that as an opportunity to humiliate me, and I wasn't going to let that happen.
Live phone conversation on the Royal Grumble, ladies and gentlemen. Is that the first time we've had any of our partners on the Royal Grumble?
I think so, yeah.
One of the times I wanted them all to do the intro and just say nothing about it, but we never actually ended up doing that.
Yeah.
We never actually ended up doing that. One of the times I wanted them all to do the intro and just say nothing about it, but we never actually ended up doing that. We might do that one day.
I feel like your half would be... Well, actually, all three of them would be very awkward doing that.
I think that's why it would be twice as funny. That's just like I said, we should do that Dadcast one day. Definitely do it at one point.
There was going to be a show when none of us... the schedules weren't going to match up, and I was going to show my girlfriend... the Katie Vick and record a reaction.
Enough, one of me or Dan managed to make it back in time to get that show recorded. Right, so let's talk about Money in the Bank. Let's run through it very quickly. Right.
Should one of us have the card in front of us? Because
probably. Like the opening match was a match for the belt.
Hang on. Have you seen it, Dan?
Yeah, well, as I explained to you guys beforehand, I don't know if you were in the room, the studio computer kind of completely crashed on Monday, and I had to do a lot of work to reboot it. So I had 3 screens going, 1 fixing that, 2 was the England game, and 3 was Money in the Bank.
Okay. Graeme, have you seen it?
I've seen the first hour and a bit.
I could focus... There is some matches where I can talk a bit more about.
Talk about one of the matches you can talk about.
Well,
I've not seen it.
Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey.
How was that?
It was quite good.
I've heard, bear in mind I've not seen it, Ronda Rousey carried her to a good match.
Which is phenomenal.
Yes.
And yet, do you know what? I would put nothing past Ronda Rousey. I'm not actually at all surprised about that.
No.
Like, this is Ronda Rousey's first singles match, and everyone thought, oh, well, this is going to be a bit thing. And even, like, what was
we were looking forward to the car crash.
What was the phrase that was on the board last week?
I don't know. We don't repeat
it. If you remember, then you'll need to say it, because I genuinely
don't. It was about ruining her.
Basically, yeah. I don't know.
I can't remember.
Oh, Ronda. That's right. God damn it! It was such a good phrase.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, WWE doesn't...
Squander Rousey nailed it. Boo.
Yeah. WWE doesn't deserve Ronda Rousey.
Really don't.
She was absolutely brilliant in this match. They've actually got a proper superstar there.
And do you not think that when I said about Triple H fighting battles, that should be a battle he fights?
Yeah, it should. Yeah. I wonder if maybe it is a battle he fights, and sometimes he wins, sometimes he loses.
Maybe.
Like, in this match he won.
Yeah.
And theoretically on the night after he won, in a way.
Because she's been, I won't say ruined, but like she's not been booked very well.
Well, like, she was in that match with Triple H at WrestleMania.
Which was good.
Well, exactly.
And the lead up to that was fine.
I wonder if Vince was like, hey, why don't we put her with Nia Jax? And Triple H is like, got an idea, Vince. I'll have a match with her in. Okay, well, you can book it. Go on if you make me.
And the match was booked great, because what we got was the women's Money in the Bank holder coming out, causing a disqualification to stop Ronda Rousey winning, attacking her further so she couldn't interfere as she cashed in and pinned Nia Jax for the title. So
I didn't expect to be as accepting of this as I was, but I was. It was fine.
Yeah, so the women's Money in the Bank match we should talk about next, because it's kind of in the thing. It was really, really good. There wasn't the big calamity that sometimes happens in these matches.
They had this new idea for the women's Money in the Bank match this year, right? Where what they do is they have a woman get the briefcase.
Yeah.
That's mental.
And they came up with it with themselves.
Yeah.
Well, in a way, themselves.
The big thing to note from this match for me was how much the crowd reacted every time it looked like Becky Lynch might win.
Yeah, they really like Becky Lynch.
They really want something to happen with Becky Lynch.
It's because everyone, well, I wouldn't say everyone, but Becky Lynch is so much better than they let us, like, they let on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and she's probably not been ruined yet, has she?
Yeah,
No.
It's because she's been so under the radar, they've not really done much with her. They've not had a chance to ruin her.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
It's like, the thing I'm thinking of is like, Christian, when Christian was really... Right, I know, but just listen.
Yeah, okay.
Sit with it here, okay. When Christian was good around like 2004 or whatever, 2005, and there was the chance for Christian to go up, and then he just didn't, probably because of face. But Becky Lynch doesn't have the face issue. So, like, she has the chance to go up from upper mid-card woman to main woman, and I just hope she does get it at some point. But... that top's getting squeezed and squeezed, isn't it?
Yeah, and it is instead time for Alexa Bliss to win.
More Alexa Bliss, because that's what the women's division needs. More Bliss.
She not only won Money in the Bank, but she cashed it in, and she is once again the champ. And she's got Ronda Rousey out of the way, because the next night on Raw, she annoyed Ronda Rousey to the point that Ronda attacked her brutally, and then...
Stone Cold Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, Stone Cold Ronda Rousey. And then Kurt Angle tried to break it up, so Kurt Angle got judo throwed by Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, and then she smacked him around with a briefcase of it.
Yeah, and then she got suspended for 30 days.
Yep.
Which is probably so she can do promotion for this Mark Wahlberg film she's in.
Yeah.
Which
Well, someone has to be in a Mark Wahlberg film, don't they?
I like Mark Wahlberg. I haven't watched Daddy's Home, which...
Have you not? Really?
No.
Well, you and many other people have not watched it.
Even though John Lithgow's in the second one, which is...
Yeah, but so's Mel Gibson, and he hates Jews.
Yeah, it's like 3 out of 4 ain't bad in that second one, because I like Will Ferrell, I like Mark Wahlberg, I like John Lithgow.
But also, you accept Jews as a race.
Yeah.
So that's where your issues with Mel Gibson arise.
So yeah,
Culturally Jewish.
the other big women's match that happened on Money in the Bank was Carmella versus Asuka.
Yeah, now
Carmella,
it's interesting I mentioned about the man climbing up the briefcase earlier on, because who should show up?
Like, everyone knew it was Ellsworth. Everyone knew it.
People knew he was there, didn't
Yeah, but it was still really great how they revealed him when he jumped up on the thing dressed as Asuka.
they? Yeah, that was funny until moments after when Asuka lost to Carmella.
That was her first pinfall loss.
Yep. Asuka lost to Carmella.
Ruined.
She is ruined. Let's just straight up say it.
Main roster, ruined.
Yep, she's ruined. Ruined within...
Velveteen Dream will be ruined.
Yeah, she's ruined within 2 losses.
Yeah.
Let's keep Kairi Sane and Io Shirai and...
They won't even
else
get
that's
up there.
come over.
Don't care about any of them,
Yeah.
mate.
I want
How many years of build did Asuka... And I know you might be saying, well, you know them from before WWE.
But they'll get ruined on main roster.
Yeah, but
like,
how
we know
many
this
years
now.
of build did Asuka have? Was it 2 years?
No one's had the build Asuka's had to get ruined this quickly.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's absolutely stupid.
It's literally throwing money away.
But Asuka's not Charlotte Flair or Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, she's not white and blonde. I'm going to say it. She's not white and blonde.
She's not. But I wouldn't have minded if when she lost to Charlotte, if that there was an interesting story coming out of it.
That's the interesting point.
She didn't get on the mic afterwards and said, "You were ready for Asuka."
What did I say? What did I say was the perfect story, right?
I don't remember.
Okay, and I banged on it about it a lot, so actually listen this time.
Okay.
Right, so Asuka beats Carmella for the title, but then Charlotte didn't need to win Money in the Bank. Charlotte's the next challenger, and Asuka's the champion without having ever beaten Charlotte. So then suddenly it becomes, no, I might be the champion, but I need to beat you to prove it.
Oh,
Instead of, all right, I've got a little chinless mate, and look, I beat these people, and the thing is, they're portraying it as her being a heel, right? And she is a heel, okay, right? Take away the whole Carmella's a heel thing, fine, but to make a good heel, you shouldn't have to ruin good faces.
Well, that's been a problem for ages. They've not been able to keep heels strong without destroying the baby faces.
Do you know why they can't keep heels strong? Because heels are too busy trying to be baby faces. Prime example, Adam Cole and his old baby thing, right?
Yep.
The end of the Wolfgang match, he does his Adam Cole baby things in middle at ring. He does it again. The crowd all chant one more time. No word of a lie, he does the Hogan thing. He goes to each side of the ring saying like, come on. So they're all going like this. And he actually does it.
Oh,
Surely you get them all riled up and we're like, go to it and go, nah, not for you.
absolutely.
And get off. Can you imagine how much he'd have got?
Much better.
Yeah.
You know the ironic thing about it though, right?
Go
He'd
on.
probably have got cheered more after getting booed.
Yeah, I
they'd probably have
suppose.
cheered him even more because he's such a good heel.
Yeah. In a weird thing of
Why do I like wrestling?
AJ Styles versus Nakamura.
Heard it was the best match they've had. Let's have a look. What am I saying?
No. His face tells me that what you meant was it's the best WWE match.
Yeah, it's the best WWE match they've had. Let's get that
Because
one clear.
have you ever seen Wrestle Kingdom, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that one. He shot the little bullet in, Nakamura ate it.
Yeah. But yeah, this was the best match they've had in WWE. But at the same time, like, Nakamura's dead after that. Like, it's kind of what needed to happen with everything that's built with
He's
it.
dead in the main event, but I'm actually quite interested to see Jeff Hardy versus Nakamura, to be totally
Oh,
honest
yeah, that
with
would
you.
be good.
Yeah, I like the little
Yeah.
promo Jeff Hardy did on SmackDown.
Yeah, with his face
painted. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back on it.
Yeah, it was a good match. What was...
That's
No,
why I need to watch Hardy's 24. Apparently,
Yeah,
there's
it's supposed to be very good.
footage of him, like with subtitles of that Victory Road match.
Really?
Seriously, with Bischoff whispering to Sting, whispering to Hardy, "You're taking the finish. You're done."
Yeah. Talking at TNA, Borash was at NXT.
That was his bald spot. We saw it. We saw it.
Yeah.
So the last thing to talk about is the men's Money in the Bank match.
We're not talking about Jinder against Roman.
No.
We not?
No.
Really?
Was it really
Oh.
bad? I haven't seen it.
I saw the Mexican wave.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Seth Rollins versus
But wait,
Elias
was it
quite
like
good.
car crash bad where I should watch it?
No.
Oh, we need
it
to
was
talk
just a
about
poor
Seth
match.
Rollins versus Elias because we need
Yeah.
to talk about this right now.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay.
Seth Rollins beat Elias.
Yeah.
But Seth Rollins is no longer the Intercontinental Champion, right? So, little pairing, Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler.
Yep.
Right? Give him a chance. It's fine, okay?
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre is obviously the star of that pairing, as you both agree with. I'm glad you agree with me.
Scottish.
Thank you.
Okay.
Drew McIntyre is around the ring for this match. He's involved in the Intercontinental Championship match. Was he in the match? No, Dolph Ziggler's the Intercontinental Champion for a 6th time with his little blonde fucking spaghetti noodle head.
You swore, mate.
I didn't. I said friggin'.
No, you didn't.
Listen to it back.
But
Mate,
then,
the minute you pay something in,
Can
maybe
we-
I will.
Can we get VAR?
Yes.
but here's the thing though: is Drew here to show the world? Here to show the world.
Drew's going to be the
Come
Universal
on.
Champion.
Yeah.
I've got to have some kind of Scottish success on the world stage. It's not going to happen in the World Cup, is it? And
So yeah, that was actually a quite good match. Seth Rollins is probably the best guy in the company right now for that type of thing.
Yep, so what they did was take the title off him and put him on Noodlehead. If you're going to say
have
it's war,
they-
right, I'll throw this one in. Noodle-headed fuck. There you
Okay.
go. Not paying twice. That one can count as the actual.
Do you think they're taking the belt off Rollins so we can wrestle Lesnar for the belt?
No,
Okay.
not because he shouldn't. Because I think they'll put him in the main event, but it'll be the main event of who gets to wrestle Rollins, who gets to wrestle Roman. No, who get bloody Brocking.
Brock, yeah.
I had to stop myself getting involved in an
Oh, he's
argument
paying
on
in.
Facebook.
He's paying in.
I'm literally paying now, by the way.
What
Take that, Dolph.
were you arguing with people on
So-
Facebook? Was somebody being racist? And we
No, it weren't a racist thing, but someone said people are annoyed about Brock Lesnar not being around to defend the title and stuff. Well, Okada only defended the title like 7 times in 2 years.
Even I know that's not the same thing.
And I was just like, I
It's
wrote
funny though, isn't it?
a
It
big
is
post
funny.
saying, actually, he set the record for most title defences and appeared on every single show in at least a tag match or a special singles match or something. He didn't just disappear for 3 months. Don't dare compare those two. But anyway, the men's Money in the Bank match, it was all right. It was a Money in the Bank match. It's not going to be terrible, is it? It's but I didn't really have much doubt. There was 2 people I had in my head who was probably going to win it.
Go on.
Braun Strowman won it.
Yeah.
I thought the other one might be The Miz, but no. Braun Strowman is the Money in the Bank holder.
We didn't talk about Daniel Bryan flat out beating Big Cass and leaving him for nothing, but we didn't need to.
Yeah. Well, we mentioned the fact that they jobbed out Big Cass.
Jobbed him out and showed nothing of him in the end. He definitely didn't get a Johnny Storm pop.
Yeah.
I can't say I'm disappointed that Braun Strowman won. With the way his character is, he doesn't need to win it. But like, I think we spoke about it last week that quite interesting having him do it. Maybe like because he can like just wander about with briefcase, smashing people with it, can't he? Like,
You get the fit like it'd have been cool on Raw if he'd have come out and just said, "Now I have this. The moment Brock Lesnar arrives, I'm having my title match."
yeah, but then they book themselves into a corner, don't they? Like as
But
nice.
then this is WWE that announce stuff all the time and then just don't
but then we
do
just
it.
whinge about it. When Brock Lesnar eventually shows up, we would whinge that he's showed up and he's not done it. So like, I'm not bothered that they've not announced that. I just don't. I'm not that bothered about them announcing the title shot beforehand. 'Cause I think you are, because you've mentioned it a lot that you want them to do that. I'm not bothered. Like, do it as a surprise. It's fine. I just don't want them to announce something and then not deliver it.
Because they already screw up a lot of things.
Yeah.
We could do without that too.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's money. That's our Money in the Bank review. Yeah, it's difficult to watch WWE at the moment. I feel.
Well, I'd said last week, didn't I? I cancelled my Sky, and now I haven't even watched genuinely on paper is quite a good pay-per-view.
Yeah, NXT is the thing that keeps my network subscription active, and this show.
You don't watch NXT, do you?
No. I will though. Don't bully.
Well, you watched NXT UK.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm going to go to one of the tapings. I've decided. I don't know which one yet, but I'm going to go to one of them.
Olympia.
Well, is it the Olympia?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's at the Olympics.
Hilarious.
But-
I've got to go there.
But like, do you want your car to be up on bricks?
Have you seen my car? It's fine. They'll take a look at it and go, you know what, we'll leave that alone.
They'll actually pump tyres up through it. Give it a little wash, won't they?
They almost certainly will. Right, that's the end of the Royal Grumble for this week. Don't forget to go to facebook.com/Royal Grumble. Don't forget to tweet us at Royal Grumble Pod. It's another bumper episode this week, isn't it? Yeah, don't forget you can get the show from royalgrumble.podbean.com. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Twitter. No,
we are also,
Stitcher.
If we're not on by this episode, by next episode, we will be on Google Podcasts.
We're on Google Podcasts. Yes, we're selling out.
Didn't even know that were a thing.
We're selling out to
we
the man,
got an
baby.
email. Podbean have done it for us.
Oh, okay.
Cheers, Podbean. You're a great bunch of lads. That's it. Say goodbye, Daryl.
So next week we're doing a debate about NXT.
Debate. If you got this far, that's what we're doing.
Yeah. Goodbye, Daryl.
Say goodbye, Dan.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.